Hello and welcome back to latest case analysis series by Law Seekho. For today's discussion, we have taken up a decision by the Honorable High Court of Madhya Pradesh, which is dated 16th of October 2020. The name of the case is Harish Chandra versus State of Madhya Pradesh. It's a single bench decision and the bench consisted of Honorable Justice Akhil Kumar Srivastav. Now let's proceed and understand the issue of law. So the court was to decide whether medical corroboration in case of a gang rape is an absolute necessity. Or to explain the issue of law in simple language, the court was to decide whether, in case of a gang rape, in order to establish the guilt of the accused, production of medical evidence which corroborates such guilt is an absolute necessity or not, or can the court, without production of such an evidence, establish the guilt of such an accused? Now let's proceed with the brief facts of the matter. So the cause of action as laid down by the prosecutrix was as follows: that a missing report was lodged by the uncle of the prosecutrix, and consequently the accused and his co-accused, they were arrested and they were charged for the following sections of the IPC along with certain provisions of the STSC Prevention of Atrocities Act. So I'll be dealing with these sections briefly. The first being section 363, which is punishment for kidnapping, and the punishment prescribed is maximum of 7 years along with fine. The next charge being section 366, which is kidnapping, abduction, or inducing a woman to compel her to marry. And the next charge being section 344, which is wrongful confinement for 10 or more than 10 days, and it is made punishable with an imprisonment up to 3 years along with fine. Next being section 328, which is causing hurt by means of poison, etc. And the next charge being section 506, which is punishment for criminal intimidation, and the punishment prescribed is maximum of 2 years with or without fine. And the next being section 376 subsection 2 clause n. So section 376 is punishment for rape, and section 367 subsection 2 and clause n, it provides for whoever commits an it provides for commission of rape on the same woman repeatedly. And the next charge being section 376d, which is gang rape. And now let's proceed with the following sections of the STSC Act. So the first section being section 3 subsection 1 in clause W and subclause 1. So section 3, it provides for punishment for offenses and atrocities, and subsection 1 of section 3 provides for whoever not being a member of the scheduled caste or a scheduled tribe. Now let's proceed to W1. So whoever who is not a member of the STSC tribe who who intentionally touches a woman belonging to the STSC tribe, knowing that she belongs to such a tribe, when such an act of touching, it is of a sexual nature and it is done without the consent of the recipient. So such an act is punishable with imprisonment for a term which shall not be less than 6 months, but which may extend to 5 years, and with fine. And the next charge being section 3, subsection 2 and clause 5. So subsection 2 provides for whoever not being a member of the ST/SC tribe, and clause 5 is commits any offense under the Indian Penal Code which is punishable with imprisonment for a term of 10 years or more against a person or property, knowing that such person is a member of the ST/SC tribe or such property belongs to such a member, shall be punishable with imprisonment for life and along with a compulsory fine imposition. Now, the appellant accused, he is also, as was stated by the appellant, in custody since 5th of September 2018. So, the appellant approached the special judge with an appeal under section 439 of the CRPC, which provides for the power regarding appeal or regarding bail to the High Court and the trial court. So the appellant accused, he approached the special judge for a bail, and the special judge dismissed the accused appellant's application, and therefore by impugned order, and this order, it is dated 9th of June 2020, and this order, as is already been obvious from here, it was passed by Special Judge STSC Prevention of Atrocities Act, Jabalpur. So Aggrieved by this rejection of his bail application, the accused appellant approached the Madhya Pradesh High Court under Section 14A of the STSC Prevention of Atrocities Act. In Section 14A, it provides for the power of a High Court to entertain an appeal, be it on the issue of law or on facts. So now, having understood the brief facts, let's proceed further with the case of the appellant. So the appellant at the very outset contended that he is innocent and also that he is in custody since 5th of September 2018 and that the trial is still pending, and also that there was an unexplained delay in lodging the FIR by the prosecutrix, and also that there is a want of evidence because there is no direct or indirect evidence available against the appellant, and the appellant is as young as 20 years, and also that the prosecutrix was in fact married to the appellant, and she also swore on an affidavit confirming this factum of their marriage. And also, it was contended that there is no likelihood of his absconding or tampering with the evidence, and hence the appellant be enlarged on bail. Now, let's proceed further and understand the case advanced by the panel lawyer. So, the panel lawyer opposed the bail application of the appellant accused and prayed for rejection of the appeal on the ground that it is a matter of gang rape, and in her statement recorded under section 164 of the CRPC, the prosecutrix has clearly stated against the appellant, so he should not be enlarged on bail. Now let's proceed with the reasoning and decision of the court. So the court stated at the very outset that it is a case of gang rape, and delay in lodging the FIR in rape cases is no ground to discard the entire prosecution case. Also, the court noted that it is also not necessary in a gang rape case or in a rape case that it should medically be corroborated. So, with this, we can understand that the issue of law was answered in negative, that it is in the presence of medical evidence to corroborate the guilt of the accused is not an absolute necessity or a prerequisite. And thirdly, considering the statement of the prosecutrix recorded under Section 164 of the CRPC and other material on record, the High Court concluded that it is not a fit case in which the appellant may be released on bail under Section 439 of the CRPC, filed under Section 14A of the Prevention of Atrocities STSC Act, and hence the appeal was dismissed. So at the end of the note, you may find a list of abbreviations which we have used in the note, and you may refer to it. And that's all we have for the case analysis. So if you have any questions, kindly feel free to mention the same in the comment section. And thank you for being with us.